Hey, now YouTube is listening to me. Okay, let's go. So, friends, Alexandra, I haven't seen you for a while. How are you? Everything is okay in your world? Everything is cool? Remember that www.meetingswithleo.com/ you can do it anytime. Feel free to activate it if you want to have a meeting just to talk about anything. I promise you that you will start talking about something and I will start talking about Bitcoin and you'll be like, oh God, why? No, I'm joking. So just anytime you know what to do, okay? Dima. Ah, yeah, you have some warm homework. I don't know. What is that? Let's see. It's for Monday? Yeah, I have homework now. Yeah, and Artemi also has some homework. Everybody has homework. So yeah, I don't know what is this, but I guess it's some Yepishev stuff. But yeah. Okay, let's... I wanted to start just by looking at our classroom and see what's the status of us in our classwork and where are we going with this. Wait, Historia... I already passed it, I guess. Музыкальный was Singlov. Historia, развитие, техники, инструментоведение, аранжировка. Like, I mean, the final assignment for us will be the single. So, I mean, out of all the work we did in the previous year, I mean, in this academic year, the final assignment for us will be, hey, you need to have an amazing single. Like, if Dima wants to make that song that he did of kind of funky that he did on the beginning, he will have to go and record drums and do it all fully. If Grisha wants to record something, I mean, Grisha has a special situation because he's in Cyprus, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I have an expectation of you guys delivering for me approximately in 1 month, just so you're aware of this, a single. And if you give me a demo, I will fail it. I mean, it cannot be a single, like, I mean, I've been talking about this from the beginning of the year. It's like, hey guys, we're making all these songs. I repeat, Grisha has a special situation. We will discuss your case individually, Bratan. But to the rest of you, like, I remind you that our goal was to kind of like build a lot of material and then choose from this one song and make a single with this. And then you will have to go and make it in DTH or whatever in a great quality, mix it and master it and do everything like maximum level. I think I will put this in the calendar today, so I give you 4 weeks to complete that task, which should be enough because theoretically you have already done some work before for me and you have some beginning already and you need to close it. At the moment, the summative assessments that are around that I haven't seen so much, I mean, I'm not thinking about anything that happened before February or something. I'm thinking about the most recent ones. We have the Eclectic Epishka. And for the Eclectic Epishka, have here, I mean, we don't have here with us either Lala or Masha, that are the only ones that have given me stuff here. I would like to discuss it, but I guess I will wait for them to be here. I have a lecture prepared for you today, and I plan to deliver it as long as you're not against it. If you're against it, then we can have a fight about it. But if you're not against it, I repeat, with all the gear, maximum level, like ready for release. If you have any questions or commentaries, I don't know, let me know. But this course is called Music Production of a Single, and our goal is to have a single ready by the end of the year. And so if you need any help, support. Okay, thank you. So, okay, look guys, in some aspects, perhaps, well, I mean, I'm always, this semester, my Tor window with the mempool of Bitcoin just opened, by the way. That's why, that is what you're seeing there. But it's not gonna connect. Oh no, well, I don't know. So, across this year, I'm just kind of, I got lost for a second because of this pop-up that happened and I was thinking. Yeah, I'm back to my idea. I prepared a lecture recently. Again, like I'm sort of like combining my works for the DPO aranjerovka style genre, and our course I'm combining a little bit this work just to make my life easier because I just have too much to teach, and I think that the courses are very similar and the material are very similar. And last week, by the way, you guys were not there, we culminated the Styles and Genres blog. We had a meeting about electronic music. I think that presentation is quite cool. I'm delivering so much new material. It's like I have a concert every day or something, kind of like this. It's all super new for me, all of the things that I'm teaching. So I feel very stressed this year. I really cannot wait for this academic year to end, so I can repeat this cycle next year, because it's been a bit stressful to me. But anyways, so part of our conversations, I think, should be about arrangements and about how to make things sound more interesting and about how to make our musical ideas grow. We want to write a music single. We want to write a music single that is great. And part of the theoretical body of knowledge that we discussed was some songwriting techniques. We discussed some theoretical knowledge as well about how to produce certain styles and genres. And now we are in a moment in which we're going to just be discussing production techniques, arrangement techniques, ideas. We may go back to the Jack Perricone book a little bit and see some things in the remaining lectures that we have and all of that jazz. I remind you, just in case, that we have ahead, I'm going to confirm to you, we have quite a bit of lectures still ahead. I guess that we will also do a practice, like a second practice of DTH. The one that we did initially was really cool. Sorry, Grisha, for that. We have ahead, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, something like 11 sessions more together. So there would be a lot of conversations. We can produce your singles. We can do so much stuff. There is a lot of stuff we can do in this time. So anyways, back to this. So today I wanted to discuss with you 20 ways of layers to layer sounds. And my dream with these meetings with you is like, how can I add value in your life? So I feel that I can add value in your life if I compile things that can help you to get unstuck when you're stuck, or can be maybe little ideas or snippets or things that maybe you haven't thought about before that can push you further, because a lot of the things that you have received from me and from our teachers are basic, and you already have this basic foundation. Now we're more in the sophistication layer. So speaking of layer, let's discuss 20 ways to layer sounds. What do I want today and hope to achieve? I want to discuss a little bit the concept of layering, which I don't think you need to discuss so deeply because I think you have it clear. I want to discuss some techniques for learning instruments and sounds. I want to discuss as well some creative approaches to do layering. I want to discuss some critical listening skills that are connected with that factor. I also want to discuss some potential limitations and challenges when you're layering. And well, I hope to maybe make a little exercise or that demonstrations that will help you to check it out. So, by the way, this is interesting. I mean, you know, I have been talking a lot about ChatGPT lately. And when I was preparing this presentation, I got some very wrong answers by ChatGPT, which was very funny. And I just wanted to share with you how it looks like when ChatGPT starts telling you lies or bullshit. So I was like, please suggest 5 books that cover the topic of layering in music production. Yeah, sure. And then he proposed me 1, 2, 3, 4 books that I have already discussed with ChatGPT. They are not new books. And then he proposed me this book, Music Production Techniques Layering Instruments by John Twells. And then it proceeded to describe to me the book. And I was like, that book doesn't exist. Like, I mean, I really searched and I noticed that the book... I mean, I'm just saying this, so let's be careful with ChatGPT because it can also give us some wrong answer. That this Music Production Techniques Layering Instrument by John Twells just doesn't exist. It's a book that the system created. So I went and I said, hey man, the quality of your answers have decreased considerably lately. Why is that? And it explained to me. And I said, you have created books that don't exist. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I mean, you have claimed that some books exist, but upon inspection, those books turn out to have not existed. Oh, sorry. Tell me, how can I improve? And I was like, yeah, please don't suggest books that do not exist. I apologize for that. And after that, I asked for a new list of books, and then it didn't make any books that were created out of nowhere. So that was really funny. But I couldn't find really any, at least through this way of research, I couldn't find any book in particular that was discussing the topic of layering as such. So I kind of like based my work in an article that I found from, I forgot the name of the site, it's Hyperbeats. And yeah, it's a really cool idea, like set of ideas on how to layer sounds and what we can do to layer sounds that can be interesting. So that's what we're gonna do. when we're, I mean, I know you're third year students. I know you're not kids. I know that you guys are very advanced. I'm gonna brush through some concepts here that I think you already know, but I don't take anybody for granted or something, so I prefer to discuss things. When we're talking about layering, obviously we're not talking about creating a second part, and I obviously know that you know what you're layering. I'm not treating you as a child. I just want to emphasize that when we're creating layers, we are like sort of like reinforcing a part A that it already exists. We want to make a more complete sound. Maybe you want to layer many synths and create a super chord stack, or maybe you want to do some drum samples and augment them with some extra layers, or maybe you want to grab like cymbals and add some white noise to add some texture, whatever. Layerings help us to achieve kind of two things, like to increase the size of something and to make something be truly unique, so it stands out. I was telling this example, was it to you, Dima, yesterday? I was talking about the zebras, right? Remember? Yeah. So I was saying this example that well, anyways, if you add some color to something that it's hard to discern, just so I don't bore. The example I was telling to Dima yesterday was about zebras in Africa. Like when you tag a zebra, then lions attack the zebra that you tagged because it becomes identifiable. So when we layer a sound, we are doing it because we want it to be unique, to stand out, to be something completely that we have not heard before and that is new in our song. So we either layer to make something huge, or we either layer to make something unique. I mean, or we can say that we either layer to make something more rich or more interesting. But yeah, I mean, the purpose for doing this is just to make something stand out and not to just stay there on that synth that you found, like, that's cool, let's just stay there. Now, I mean, the authors of this article propose like that there is good layering and bad layering. So good layering is when you layer for a reason. You know, hey, let's make something, let's stand out or become unique, and let's separate the spectrum into several regions. And this is, I think, where I can help you to add value in your life, to help you to think about this. Like, let's separate the spectrum into different regions and think, okay, I want to do a layer that is the low end layer, the mid range layer, the high range layer. Like, how can I kind of like, if I start layering on the same spectrum range, I'm going to just be stuck in sort of like emphasizing the same part of the spectrum, and I'm not going to make anything stand out, and it's going to be a bit poor. So good layering is layering that serves a purpose and that helps the sound to stand out. Bad layering is when you try to layer something but you stay on the same range and you clutter up your mix and end up eating headroom and not achieving anything, just like adding stuff for adding stuff. It's usually to have a good idea to have one layer to make most of the final sound. So that's a cool thought to have. You know, if you're gonna layer something or when you're working, it's cool that your main sound is sort of like 90% of the whole thing, and then the other 10% is this magical layer that is there. We are going to be discussing 20 layering tips in the next lecture or two. I mean, I delivered this in 2 lectures for other course, so I don't know how many lectures we're going to need for this. I have here all the slides with the ideas that I have on the table, and I want to kind of like open each one of them and then go to Ableton and sort of like demonstrate them in a real life case. I have a real life case here, which is really useful for us to explore, so I don't have to waste any time creating music. We once made an exercise called tempo explorations, and I send you some MIDI tracks, and so I have some MIDI files here for that, and I'm just gonna use that so I don't have to waste time creating new music. So let me download this, and then I'm gonna just like run each one of those cases and meditate with you. And I promise you guys, because I always trying to focus on trying to deliver value in your life and not to make anything that is boring for you or anything that is out of the question or that you don't need. I promise you that when I made this thing, I learned a lot personally, and if I learn a lot, I'm sure that there would be some little things that will be useful for you to them here and drop them here, all of them. We can use it. And so let's just drop this here and grab this thing here, and yeah, let's get that tempo information, why not? And let's grab all our things. So I have harmony, melody, and bass. So let me just sort it out, and let's go up here Try to, by the way, guys, just quick final reminder. Try to really give me something for the Eclectic EP for next week, okay? Just put it in your head. Let's try to get this out of the way because we really need to move on towards the finalization of the course. And it's really important that we change the tune and we focus on the final single. Okay, so back to this. The first case that is being presented here is add a detuned layer. Again, this is based on an article by Hyperbeats. Again, my mempool is opening. This is based on an article on Hyperbeats, and they are proposing some things. And of course, I'm going to extend their proposals and propose you some other stuff that are not only in that article. So the first thing is like add a detuned layer. So what is the meaning of that? Let's start by adding a layer. I mean, I'm just gonna load a synth, and I guess I'm gonna load here from my Arturias. I'm gonna load the Synclavier. Here it is. And yeah, you are. Okay, cool. So I have my tell you here. Can some of you speak? Just say something like la 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 la. I want to show you something. Literally, just please, somebody. Yeah, can you just speak for? It doesn't. I thought that there was be like a little speaker here to. So number one option, add a detuned layer. So let's do it. I mean, I'm gonna try to deliver this in one lecture, so we can cover more interesting materials. So I will be a little bit faster than in the other cases when I deliver this lecture. So add a detuned layer. So I'm gonna duplicate this Synclavier. And I'm gonna grab the second one. This is a double. So they're both playing at the same time. And I'm gonna grab and tune the second one. And I'm gonna move, you know what I'm gonna do so it's more hearable. I'm gonna move to a second octave. It was like command up, right? No, command up is shift up. Shift up. Shift up. And we obtained some sort of comb filtering slash movement that we were not getting initially, or some sort of chorusy effect. That's really interesting. Only by you see, all I did was detuning this. How many cents? Wait, 0 cents here, and I detuned it by 0 cents, and the second one, where is it? Wait, this is should be. Yeah, I detuned it by 44 cents. Actually, I did it not how I wanted. I wanted this one to be the detuned one. So let's detune it, 44 cents. And of course, something you can do is to grab your detuned layer and push it down 1 octave. So, but I think that the purpose of this message was like, hey, grab a second layer and detune it. The same synth. It's not like a second synth. It's like the same synth and just detune it. It's an option. You also have this option. You can achieve this a little bit more elegantly and a little bit more interestingly. You can achieve it in another way. Wait, I lost my presentation. I lost my browser. Where are you, browser friend? Just a sec. Here it is. There is another more elegant case, which is like using a pitch shifter or a couple of plugins that I'm suggesting here, the Little Alter Boy or the Micro Shifter. Look, the Little Alter Boy, I'm gonna think, yeah. Today I was discussing something similar with some students of the first year of the foundation, and we discussed this plugin from Ableton called, it was, wait, Shifter, right? I think it's called Shifter, yes. And another more elegant way of achieving the same thing, the detuned layer, is just, you see, I have loaded a shifter in this guy. I'm not gonna duplicate the synth, but I'm gonna put a dry wet, and I'm gonna grab the shifter, and I'm just gonna do a second layer. It was 44 cents. Yeah, it's the same effect, but less intensive in processing. by the way, I just had this thought. I am obviously a bit afraid that some of the proposals that I'm going to give to you, Anatoly already discussed with you, because these are kind of like very basic things of music production, but like I told you, there are some very special options in these 20 options, and my main goal was to generate a list for you. I have this, and I was discussing the alternative of doing it instead with 2 synths, just loading there a pitch shifter, put it in 50-50, and change the course, or like do a fine tuning of the pitch of the second one, and okay, you got there. Awesome. That was this case that I was discussing in here, the little altar boy. By the way, does Anatoly works with sound toys a lot or not? Or only Ableton stuff? Hey, you guys? Mostly Ableton stuff. Okay. So the cases I'm discussing, I guess that maybe Alexandra and Grisha left to YouTube. I don't know. But anyways, the case of the little altar boy, it's a case, I mean, I decided to do it with the shifter because today I was kind of like learning about this plugin, and I think, but obviously we can use other audio effects like the little altar boy. The little altar boy is a Sound Toys plugin. We discussed this with Dima a couple of days ago. A very useful plugin, which is this. It's just a pitch shifter, literally. It does the same as this shifter. My iLok is right now here, and I'm gonna need it. So let me connect my iLok. I just had it in the school today. Let's just drop it here. Just a moment, fellas. I'm just connecting my iLok down here. Давай. 1 and 2. The little altar boy, which sucks. Wait, the micro shift. The micro shift he left me. Great. Okay, I think he's just talking in some issue there. So yeah. Я понимаю. Сейчас я включу. Дай, дружок.
Причем здесь папу нельзя отвлекать.
Все хорошо, друзья, ничего, не переживайте.
Тебя никто и не отвлекает.
Мне нужно.
Аккуратно, внимательно, тут Лина идет.
Все.
Пойдем, я тебя пожалею. Пойдем.
Окей, давай. Вот, guys. Вертолет. Держи, давай, дружок. Держи. Давай, мне нужно работать. Not coming back for some reason, so I'm gonna let it go. It's exactly like the shifter. The only thing that I wanted to discuss with you is micro shifter. The micro shift is wait, let me just see. Micro shift here. It's literally like a chorus, but it's very short, so we can achieve something like this with a chorus as well. Let me just mix it all. And the cool thing about the micro shifter is you can choose in the frequency where it's being focused. So yeah, with this we create movement. That's nothing new. When you have some chords and you want perhaps to emphasize something, and this is really useful, and I mean for special moments in your songs and everything, Obviously, you can just mute all the resources of one chord and just leave the higher notes and see where it goes, and use this as an emphasis for a certain moment. So how would something like that look? Let's just grab here our chords that we have here. Let's forget about this enclaver for now, and let's add these chords that we have here. Forget about this micro shifter for a second. Go to plugins, go to find a synth, let's say the Prophet 5, and let's have a listen. I don't know where this Prophet 5 loaded, but let me just load it here. It doesn't matter. So that's our layer 1. Let's go for the layer 2. So let's duplicate this, and now I have the Prophet in the second Prophet there. And now let's grab this guy. Ah, okay, I see. Thank you, man. Thanks for letting me know. I see. And now? Super. So let's go to our second layer here, down here, and let's select everything and mute everything. So we don't. And I'm gonna start creating a new sound for the Prophet. Wait, let me just grab only high notes. So I want to grab sort of like only my highest notes of my chords, something like this, like this, like this, like this. Like this, and I'll tell you a little tip that I find useful. Sometimes I'm literally just grabbing the high notes alone, and okay, and let's unmute that, and now let's choose another sound here. Let me see this. Let me just go here to pads 1 second and grab RT. I don't know what RT is going to be about, but let's see. Solo it 1 second. Sounds great for my movie, but sounds closer to what I wanted. And obviously, I mean, mega obviously, one of the things that we should do when we're doing something like this is to be selective about when this happens. It doesn't have to happen all the time, right? So then I think we can. I was meaning that we can mute the next one and then make this like an exception of something that happens not all the time.